What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel and welcome to tonight's stream. How are we doing tonight? Happy Wednesday. We are midweek. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I see we already have a bunch of people in the chat. So I'm excited to hang out with you guys, get into some Scream theories, some Scream talk, and anything else we want to talk about. If you want to talk about some other horror movies, we can do that as well. But if you have any theories and stuff, start throwing them in the chat and we will get to them. And today is our bonus stream. Last week, we hit our goal of 10 super chats, and the prize was a bonus stream for this week. So that is what we're doing today. Thank you so much. And we do have a new goal in this stream as well. If we get 10 $5 super chats in the hour, we will do an extra 30 minutes on the stream. So if you want to hang out for a little bit longer, we have that goal going in the chat. Thank you to all 23 people who are here right now. Hopefully we get a little bit more. But anyone who is here right now, please do me a favor and give the stream a like. It definitely helps out the channel, helps pump this out to some more people. But let's get into it. We have Alex here. Hey, Alex. Hope you're doing well. We have We Love Deadpool here. Welcome. You also said, hopefully in Scream 7, Stu reveals himself, or they might save it for Scream 8. Yeah, I'm hoping he gets revealed at the end of 7, but I hope he survives to carry over into Scream 8. I want to see him continue on into the next movie. I always say, let's use Matthew Lillard while we have him, because once they kill him, that is it. And I see we have our first super chat from Johnny. Thank you, Johnny. You said, congrats, Pam, 17K. Seen Final Destination, so good. Thank you so much. I meant to mention that in the beginning of the stream, that I did hit 17K. So thank you guys so much for being here. A lot of you have been here since the beginning, like 2 years ago when I got started on here. And we have grown to 17K, which is unbelievable. I think tomorrow we're going to do the 17K celebration stream, but I mean, today we can celebrate as well. So thank you so much, Johnny. And good, I'm glad that you thought it was good. I haven't seen it yet. I have not had a chance to go see it this week. Maybe this weekend. If not, maybe next week. Things have just been crazy busy. But thank you, Johnny, for your continued support on the channel. And to answer Deadpool's question, no, I haven't seen it yet. I heard it was good. I have heard some mixed reviews about it. Like, I've heard some people say it was incredible, like the best one in the franchise. Some people have said that it was just okay. Like, it didn't blow them away or anything. But, you know, everyone's different. Hey, Harvey, welcome to the stream. I'm glad you enjoyed Final Destination Bloodlines. Hey, RJ, glad you could make it. Alex is giving us the countdown to Scream 7. 282 days, approximately 6,768 hours. Wow. It'll be here before we know it. Hey, Matthew. You said, I'm currently watching the Scream films and I Know What You Did Last Summer films to prepare for the new movies coming out. I loved FD6 as well. Nice. I gotta see Final Destination. I'm definitely gonna have to rewatch I Know What You Did Last Summer before the new one comes out, but you know, we have a little bit of time. But yeah, I'm super pumped for all of those movies. Hey, Russell. Yeah, I am super pumped for Dexter Resurrection. Less than 2 months until it comes out. Also, thank you. Yes, if everyone here could give the stream a like, that would be great. But yeah, Dexter Resurrection, less than 2 months away. Insane. If we have any Dexter fans here, which I'm sure we do, I just put out a new video a few minutes ago before the stream with some new set images. So after this stream, definitely go check that out. And also do me a favor. I put out a new Dexter video on Sunday called What Makes Dexter Morgan Such a Compelling Character. If everyone could go give that a watch as well and give it a like and leave a comment, because that video is not doing so well, but I really enjoyed making it. So if you could just show it some love, that would be great. Matthew said, my theory for the new I Know What You Did Last Summer is maybe we can get Ben, Willis, Barry, and Helen back in Nightmares of Julie's. That would be cool. I would like that. I don't know about Helen. From everything we've heard, it seems like they weren't able to get her to be in it. But who knows? Maybe they're keeping it a secret. And you also said, I'm currently watching through season 4 of Dexter. In my opinion, the Trinity Killer is the best killer out of the series, right behind the Ice Truck Killer. I have to agree with you, Matthew. Trinity is up there. But I think no one can beat the Ice Truck Killer. Like, season 1 was amazing and the best season. But season 4, fantastic. Russell says, I think Ray, aka Freddie Prinze Jr., is the killer for the new I Know What You Did Last Summer. That would be insane. Oh my god, can you imagine? That would be quite the twist. Maybe it's him working with one of the new kids. Like, I think it would be cool if one of the new cast members, the younger crowd, it was one of them. But imagine he's kind of like helping them. That would be insane. Hey, CAJ. Welcome to the stream. Alex says, how likely do you think it is that Kirby Reed will make a surprise appearance in Scream 7, just as she did in Scream 6? I don't know. I do think there's a chance. So with Kirby in Scream 6, did we know that she was going to be in the movie ahead of time? I think we did know, right? Like, it wasn't a surprise. I feel like, because she had the character poster, which I feel like they released all of them before the movie came out. I think we knew going into it that she was going to be in it. And this time we have not heard anything. I do think there's a chance. I don't know if it's that likely, but I would very much enjoy it. Hey, Derek. Hey, Tristan. Hey, Thomas. I am well. Thank you. I hope you are too. I'm just super freaking tired because I went out this past weekend for my cousin's 30th birthday and we partied hard for like 3 days in a row. So I am still recovering. I'm just like so tired, but trying to get back into it. Wanted to stream today and hang out with you guys. You were tabbed out and got jump scared. Hey, Antonio. Yeah, my my resting face is very just, I always say I have resting bitch face. Yeah, Derek, I was just saying I still need to watch the new Final Destination. Alex says, what do you think of the idea of Scream 7 having a scene in which someone is changing a tire at night on a road in a wooded area and they look up to see Ghostface standing by their car? That would be spooky. I would like that. And, you know, something new for the franchise. Hey, J-Rod. You're over here watching Scream 2 on HBO Max. Nice. I currently have HBO Max pulled up for the Knicks game right now because they're playing right now. I'm not super into sports, but like, I don't know. I like watching it, and you know, it's like the playoffs right now, and I'm from New York City, and the city is going insane for these games right now. I was out on Friday night during the game. The bar was packed. People were losing their minds, so I have it on in the background right here. Do you think Angelina was a killer? So, I don't know, I'm a little divided on this, um, because I know there was originally supposed to be 2. It was supposed to be Angelina, and they filmed a lot of the scenes with 2 killers in mind before they decided to change it. So if you go back and watch a lot of those scenes in Scream 3, there's 2 killers, and it was supposed to be Angelina. So there's a lot of people out there who have the theory that even though she wasn't revealed, she was still a killer. Um, and Roman just happened to kill her before the reveal, and we never found out. But now that we know that Stu's coming back, I really want to find out that Stu was Roman's secret partner in Scream 3. So, I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50 on this. Not a theory, but found an article with an interesting title. Didn't read the article yet, but it was titled Scream 7 might recast Sydney. I mean, Nev Campbell filmed Scream 7 already, so that's not going to happen. Thank God. Thomas says, what if we get a child of Roman and Stu behind the scenes as the Ghostfaces? I'm thinking Michelle Randolph character is Roman's kid. I don't know. I suppose it's possible, but I know a lot of people are over the whole relative thing. You know, it's been done so many times that one of the current killers is either like the parent or the sibling of a previous killer. So I don't think a lot of people would like that. But I don't know. Is there a particular song that you would very much like to hear during Scream 7's end credits? I don't know. I haven't thought about that. I have to give that some more thought. Harvey says, one theory I have is that Cotton Weary wasn't wrongly convicted of Maureen's murder and was actually guilty, still being alive and previously unknown ghost faces in the cult. Impossible, but a Cotton fan. Wait, so you think Cotton could still be alive? That would be crazy. I mean, I know Liev Schreiber recently, in the past year, he said that he's bummed that his character was killed because obviously no one knew that they would make new movies down the road. So he would like to be in it, but I don't know. I'm not a huge Cotton fan. I would enjoy seeing a flashback with him. I've said it before on the channel. Like, you know, I think there's a good chance we could get a Maureen Prescott murder flashback. And, you know, what if we get Cotton in a flashback? Stu should reveal himself at the end of Scream 7. I agree. I want to see him take the mask off. Because also, that is something that we didn't get to see from him in the original. Obviously, we got the reveal, but, like, he never took the mask off. So that would be cool to see him do that. My cousin's birthday was very fun. Too much fun. I was just saying I am still recovering. Thank you, Russell. Thank you guys for 17K. Johnny is throwing out another super chat. Thank you, Johnny. You said, have you ever seen the Blair Witch Project? Did you like it? Have you ever experienced something paranormal at any time of your life, and what happened? I have seen it, and I did enjoy it. I watched it when I was really young, because that came out, late 90s? I remember watching it when I was young, and I found it scary because I was super young. I don't think I've rewatched it since then. I definitely am due for a rewatch. Have I experienced something paranormal? I don't know. I don't think so. When I was like in middle school, me and my friends used to do the Ouija board thing every time we hung out. But you know, I don't think that's ever really real. We kind of just messed around with it. I don't think anything paranormal has ever happened to me, and I kind of hope not. I find that stuff scary. Like, as much as I love horror movies, you guys know I prefer slashers. I don't really care for like the supernatural stuff, that stuff I find a lot more scary. So I hope nothing like that ever happens. But thank you, Johnny, for your super chat. And I believe that is our first one towards the goal. So if you are just joining us now, we do have a goal that is going on in the chat. If we get 9 more $5 super chats, in the next 43 minutes, then we will go for an extra 30. But thank you, Johnny. And let me see where I was in the chat, because it scrolls away from me every single time I click on a super chat. 5-day hangover, yes. You know, I'm at the point in my life where if I drink for 1 day, I'm hungover for like 3 days. So the fact that I drank for 3 days, my hangover is gonna last like a week. Today's the first day where I'm starting to feel like a little bit back to normal, but I'm still just super tired. Hey, Carl, my weekend was super fun. I hope yours was too. You said, I wonder if the twins are going to be killed off. Chad shouldn't have survived the last one. I feel like at least one of them has to die. Like, they both survived pretty crazy injuries in the past 2 movies. Chad, especially, like you mentioned, like, he was stabbed over 20 times by 2 ghost faces in Scream 6. Like, that pisses me off. Like, you know, if they wanted Chad to survive, fine, let him survive. But to have our first ever scene where 2 ghost faces tag team one person, that should have been like an epic kill. And the fact that he survived, I think, just takes away from that scene. So I definitely think one of them has to go. Don't know who it's going to be. A part of me thinks it's going to be Mindy. I feel like Chad is just... I think it's going to be like a running gag that Chad is like superhuman. Hey, Zork, throwing out a $5 super chat. Thank you so much. You said, I made an AI image of you as a Sith Lord. I DM'd it to you on Instagram. Let me check it out. Is that like a... what is it? A Star Wars thing? Oh my god. That's so funny. That's funny. Thank you. I've never really seen Star Wars. I saw like the first one a few years ago. I tried to get into it. I might have started the second one and it's not really my thing, so I never really continued watching them. I wish I'd liked them. I do wish that I did. I think maybe if I gave it another chance, maybe I would, but we'll see one day. But thank you, Zorg, for your super chat. And that is our second one towards the goal. We have 2 out of 10 to get the extra 30 minutes on the stream. Thank you guys so much. Let me see here. Johnny says the opening of Final Destination Bloodlines is really well done. Nice. I am excited to see it. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance. Maybe this weekend. If you had to choose who would win, Mickey or Charlie, I'm gonna go with Charlie just because I like Charlie more. Hey, Goji Man. Welcome to the stream. Hey, Dustin. Thanks for stopping by. How you doing? Matthew says, my top theory for Scream 7 is that it ends with Stu killing Gail as a cliffhanger. Either that or Gail betrays Sydney and reveals she was working with the cult. Oh, no. I personally would not like that second one with Gail being, like, betraying Sydney. I've always said on the channel, like, if they were... There was a time where they could have made Gale a bad person, like a killer. I think that ship has sailed. I think we're too deep into the franchise, and I think a lot of fans would be pissed off. But I could see Stu killing Gale for sure. I think if anyone's gonna kill her, it should be Stu. Besides any of the Scream movies, which horror movies are the most rewatchable? Well, my personal favorites are Jeepers Creepers, the first one, and House of Wax, the remake. Those are two of my favorite horror movies of all time. And I rewatch them like a few times a year. Destin says, I think we get our first teaser of Scream 7 with I Know What You Did Last Summer. I mean, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Hopefully, how long till I Know You Did Last Summer? 2 months? Less than 2 months away? I could live with that. That will be exciting. Hey, Angie. Stab the like button. Yes, please. We have 42 people here right now. Thank you so much for all of you guys hanging out with me. And hopefully we can get to 42 likes right now if you all give the stream a like. I still believe Stu killed Dewey and attacked Gale. I am with you, Deadpool. 100%. I have a bunch of theories on the channel about this. I think there's a lot of clues in both of those scenes. And what's interesting is both of those questionable scenes with a lot of clues are legacy characters. Like, it just makes sense for it to be Stu, who has this history and this like established relationship with them. So I want to see what that Crystal Lake TV show is going to be like. Yeah, what is up with that? I feel like we haven't heard much about that show. There were like issues with it where we thought it wasn't going to get made, and then they decided it is still being made. And then what's her face got casted as Pamela Voorhees. Linda Cardellini, is that her last name? Russell says Angel Batista is a great character on Dexter. I agree. He's one of my favorites. He's so good. He's funny. He's just like this pure character. Hey, Mr. Rick, are you planning to also watch I Will Always Know What You Did Last Summer? I don't know. I think I attempted to watch it once. I vaguely remember years ago coming home from the bar after drinking and trying to watch it, but I have zero recollection of it because I had been drinking. But I know that it's bad. Like, everyone says it's bad. So I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever give it a rewatch. We have Anthony throwing out a $10 super chat. Thank you, Anthony. You said, not really a fan of the Scream movies, but I just started watching your reviews of Dexter Original Sin and some of the sneak peek media on Resurrection. What's your favorite kill room kill in Dexter? Thank you so much, Anthony, for the super chat. And I appreciate you watching the Dexter content, because Dexter, like, after Scream, Dexter's probably what I'm most obsessed with, and I really enjoy making those videos, so I'm glad you're enjoying them. Favorite kill room kill? Let's see here. What's a creative one? Well, I mean, obviously the one with Trinity is just like, he had that coming, and that's a good one. There's one in Dexter New Blood that I kind of like, but it's like a flashback. The one with the clown, when he kills the clown. I really like the one In season 4, I think it is, when he sets up the kill room in the boxing ring, but he doesn't have time to dispose of the body, so he has to hide the body in the punching bag. That one's a really good one. I don't know. I have to think about it a little bit more. And actually, that's a good idea for a video. I might do like top 10 kills in Dexter. So thank you so much for this super chat and for watching all of my Dexter content. I did just put out a new video like an hour ago. If you want to go check it out after the stream, we just got some new set images from Dexter Resurrection. So check it out. Thanks, Anthony. We have a super chat from the Willmeister. Hey, Willmeister. Glad you could make the stream. You said you streamed just minutes after I got home after being released from the hospital. What a nice surprise. I hope everything is good with you, Willmeister. I'm glad you could be here and hang out for a bit. We're going to hang out for a little longer. Let's see. We're halfway through the goal. We're 5 out of 10. So if we can get 5 more $5 super chats in the next 32 minutes, we're going to do an extra 30 minutes on the stream and hang out even longer. So thank you for contributing to the goal, the Willmeister. And Johnny has thrown out another super chat. You said Jeepers Creepers is such a good movie. Justin Long was amazing, and it's available for free on YouTube. A possible watch along on the channel. Yeah, so Justin Long, man, that movie. So that came out in 2001, but I probably first watched it maybe in like 2003 when I was like 7 years old. So obviously too young to actually be watching it, but I was watching scary movies since I was like as long as I can remember. I remember watching it at a sleepover with my friend, and I was instantly obsessed with the movie and obsessed with Justin Long. He is like one of my first crushes from movies or TV. And I remember watching every single movie of his after that because I loved him so much. Yeah, so we did a watch along on the channel back in October for this movie. So eventually one day we'll do another one because it is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. I don't know if we watched the second one on the channel, so maybe we'll have to do that. But thank you, Johnny, for your super chat. And we have the Willmeister throwing out another super chat for $10. Thank you so much. You said, if I remember correctly, you're not a fan of this theory. I feel like Stu will help Sydney as redemption. It just makes too much sense to me. I believe that's how we get a Ghostface versus Ghostface fight. Yeah, so I am not a fan of this theory. I do not want to see Stu be this reformed character. I want to see him be his evil self. I want to see him be even darker this time around. But what I am kind of a fan of is him pretending to be a reformed character. Well, okay, I'm kind of torn on this actually because I don't know. It would be interesting to see him and Sydney come face to face, and he's trying to convince her, like, you know, that was then, this is now. I was 17 years old. I was a stupid kid. Billy peer pressured me into it. I'm not that person anymore. And to kind of have Sydney fall for it, and then for him to be like, just kidding, I'm still evil. So I am kind of on board with that a little bit, but yeah, in the end, I want to see him be his old self and even darker this time around. But we shall see. Only time will tell. But thank you, Willmeister, for both of your super chats. I appreciate you hanging out and for supporting the channel. Let's see here. Let me get back to my spot in the chat. Hey, Kaden, how long will I live stream for? At least another 30 minutes. But we have a goal going. If we hit that goal, we will do an extra 30. Let's see here. I need to scroll back in this chat. So I try to get to everyone. Hey, Ray. Ooh, FD6 is currently 3rd on your ranking. Nice. I still have to see it. I know you probably don't want to hear it, but what if Stu is the opening kill? Yeah. Not a huge fan of that idea because I want to spend a lot of time with him. I want to see the reveal at the end. I want to see him kill some people. But listen, even if he's the opening kill, it still confirms that he was alive this whole time. And it proves that all of our theories were correct. So it's like, I'll take it. If that's what they want to give us, I suppose I'll have to be okay with it. But not a huge fan of that. Yes, Victor, this is what I want. Killer gets away with it at the end of Scream 7. It's Stu, and we get him for a full movie in Scream 8. Goji Man says, here's my theory for the reveal. It ends up being revealed that Leslie Macher turns out to be the killer and is leading an army of Ghostfaces in revenge for her brother. Then gets revealed he's alive. Yes, I am a huge fan of this. This is pretty much what I want to happen. I would love for Leslie Macher to be involved. I have some theories about this on the channel. And Anna Camp's character, I think, could be Leslie Macher, and she's living under an alias. She lives next to Sydney as her neighbor, going by some other name, which might be Jennifer, I think, is Anna Camp's character. Not sure about that. But she's secretly Leslie Macher, working with her brother, helped him stay in hiding all these years. And I see some people say like, oh, wouldn't Sydney recognize her? But I don't think so, because first of all, we don't know if she even knew Leslie back in the day. Maybe she was older and away at college and she only knew Stu. Or maybe she was his younger sister and Sydney just never hung out with her. But also, think back to Scream 4 with Judy Hicks. Sydney and Judy went to school together. They were in a play together. And Sydney didn't even remember her at all. Like, she definitely talked to her, came face to face with her in the past, didn't remember her. Judy was like, yeah, you had a lot going on back then. So it's like, Sydney, even if Sydney has met Leslie before in the past, it's been decades. And I don't think she would necessarily remember her. We have a Ghostface Sith with a $5 super chat. You said Stu lives. Let's get that extra 30 minutes. Thank you so much, Ghostface. I appreciate you supporting the channel. Absolutely, Stu lives. You know it. Let's see where we're at with the goal. 8 out of 10. Nice. Thank you, guys. So if we do 2 more towards the goal within 24 minutes, we'll go an extra 30. And I think we're going to get there. Let's see. And we have another $10 super chat from Anthony. Thank you so much, Anthony. Seriously, very generous of you. I appreciate you supporting the channel. You said, my favorite kill room is with Miguel Prado. He reacted exactly how I would if I found out Dexter killed my brother. And I already watched your newest Dexter video. A hearty meal helps a bad hangover. Thank you, Anthony, for the super chat, for watching my most recent Dexter video. Yes, a hearty meal does help a bad hangover. I'm not necessarily hungover anymore. I'm just tired. I'm just so tired. I think tomorrow though, I should be back to 100% tomorrow. Yeah, so Miguel Prado, man, that kill is so good. His reaction is so good. That one hits every time. You know, I've rewatched the show, I don't know, maybe 5 times. And yeah, his reaction, it's good. And, you know, I'm kind of 50-50 on how I feel about Miguel Prado as a character in general. Like in the beginning, I kind of like him and I like his friendship with Dexter. But the way he starts treating him is a little messed up. And then finding out that he was like lying to him about a lot of stuff. Man, that's such a great moment when Dexter finally kills him. Oh, so good. I'm sure you've heard, especially if you've seen my videos, that he's making a cameo in Dexter Resurrection, Miguel Prado. Obviously, he's dead, but it's going to be similar to, I think, how Trinity is appearing in Resurrection, like some sort of figment of his imagination. The way Dexter always like hallucinates people from his past, I guess. So that will be exciting to see. Also, I'm assuming you've seen the prequel show, Dexter Original Sin, and we get the young Miguel Prado in that one little scene in the prequel, which I loved. Thank you so much, Anthony, for your super chats and for supporting the channel. Let's see. I still want Ghostface chasing someone in an icy setting. Imagine the slip and slide fun. Yeah, I was hoping, you know, there were rumors like over a year ago that Scream 7 was going to be set during Christmas time. That's not the case. We know that it's set in the fall. We can see that the town is decorated for fall, so maybe Scream 8. But also, like I've said, you know, every Scream movie always takes place over the course of like 2 or 3 days, and that's it. Maybe with this one, we could get like a mini time jump, like of a few weeks, and maybe it'll be Christmas time at the end, towards the end of the movie. That could be cool. We have another super chat from the Willmeister. Thank you so much. You said, did you ever get your capture card up for your retro gaming? How is that going? I did not, but it's funny you mentioned that. I was literally thinking about this like 2 days ago. I have to get on that. Yeah, no, seriously, I need to actually write this down right now and like order one from Amazon or something later tonight or tomorrow. So thank you again for reminding me because I was thinking about this. Yeah, I got to do some gaming on live stream. So we shall get around to that soon. And we are currently 9 out of 10 for the goal. Thank you so much, you guys. Thank you, Willmeister, for all of your super chats. Do I watch Cobra Kai? I do not. I have never seen it, but thank you for being here, Chocolate Ice, and for moderating. You know, I've been in the mood to rewatch the first one lately. There was a time where I was rewatching the franchise like constantly. Specifically for my channel, like to make new content. But lately, yeah, it's just been a lot of, like, things got crazy with Yellow Jackets and Dexter. I was rewatching all of that for, like, weeks and weeks, so I'm caught up on all of that, so I might have to do a Scream rewatch soon. Thank you, Will Meister, for your super chat, which just got us to number 10 for the goal. And we are going for an extra 30 minutes. So thank you so much for all of your super chats, you guys. Seriously, I appreciate like all of you just wanted to hang out with me and talk Scream and all of my favorite movies and shows. Like this is always such a blast. And I just can't believe that I get to do this, honestly. Um, so thank you all of you for being here. And thank you, Will Meister, for all of your super chats because you sent in quite a few. And for sending in this last one that got us to the goal. Let's see here. Apparently, when Scream 2 was in production, the killers were supposed to be Derek and Mrs. Loomis, but the script got leaked and they changed it to Mickey and Mrs. Loomis. I have heard about that, but I feel like I also heard that Hallie was supposed to be, wasn't it supposed to be Derek and Hallie? And then they changed it to Mrs. Loomis and Mickey. I also got a theory of Scream 7. Maybe one of Sydney's daughters is Ghostface after going through old files and finding out her uncle Roman was a Ghostface. I don't want that to happen. I don't want one of her kids to be Ghostface. I feel like that does always come up in these streams. And I always say, I think it would be so tragic, so sad for Sydney. She's been through so much. And even with Jill, her cousin, being a Ghostface, that was already such a huge betrayal. So for her own daughter, someone who she gave life to and raised, spent her life raising, like, oh, that would be so rough. But then again, it would be a good twist. Like it would be a twist that I wouldn't see coming. And that is what you want from these movies. So I don't know. I'm kind of torn on how I feel about this. Trustin says I look like Coco Arquette, Courtney Cox and David Arquette's daughter. Interesting. I've never heard that one before. I do get a lot of comparisons here and on TikTok, but I've never heard that one before. I always get on TikTok, I always get Vanessa Hudgens and Mary Elizabeth Winstead from Final Destination 3. Derek says flashbacks with Stu and Roman. I hope so. I definitely think Roman is likely to be a flashback. Of course, it could be the whole AI theory that everyone is into. I'm not crazy about that idea. So I'd rather see a Roman flashback. It could also be like a hallucination of Sydney's, kind of like a dream sequence or something, like the way Sam sees Billy, something like that. But I want to see Stu flashbacks as well, as on top of him actually being alive. I would love to find out that, get a flashback to Scream 3 and find out that Stu was Roman's secret partner. That's what I want. Hey, Sean. I think we are all hoping for Stu cliffhanger going into 8. Yep, for sure. Angie says the secret relative thing has been played out. I would have been open to Gail having a child she gave up for adoption, showing up not as the killer, but just to give her a new connection. Yeah, I feel like the relative thing has been played out. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like if Gail had a kid, we would have found out by now, but you never know. Red Right Hand is always a given to hear at least once in every Scream movie. It really is the anthem of the Scream franchise. But is this song in Scream 4? Because I made a TikTok about this, and then it got a bunch of comments saying that it's not in Scream 4 because there was issues with like the copyright at the time. But then some people say you can hear it playing at the Stabathon. I honestly don't know. I need to rewatch 4. Wild theory. Dewey secretly took care of an early child of Stu and Tatum. After abandonment, he restarts the Ghostface legacy with Sydney's kids in a future timeline or something. Interesting. I mean, Tatum would have been super young when she had that kid. So I don't know about that one. Oh my goodness. We have Anthony throwing out another super chat, this time for $20. Wow. Very, very generous of you, Anthony. You said, here's for your hangover recovery fund and support for more Dexter content. I'm looking forward to your resurrection recap videos for each episode. It's great hearing your theories. Thank you so much, Anthony. Seriously, I cannot thank you enough. I'm just so happy that you are enjoying the Dexter content because I seriously enjoy making it, and I am also so looking forward to the weekly recaps for Resurrection. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I love discussing the episodes with you guys and also hearing other people's theories and kind of just discussing theories in the comment section. But I'm also exhausted thinking about it because those recaps, those weekly episode breakdowns, are a lot of work for me. I thoroughly enjoy doing it, but it's like, it's a lot of work, to watch the episode. I take notes during the episode, and then filming it takes me like filming takes a long time, and then editing takes a long time, and then obtaining the images and the clips for the video, it's sometimes it's like 2 days worth of work, depending on how busy I am. But like I said, I thoroughly enjoy it. So I am so happy. It seriously makes me so happy that you enjoy watching it. And we have less than 2 months until the 2-episode premiere on July 11th. And oh my God, that I'm exhausted thinking about that because I have 2 episodes that I need to hustle to get that content out for it. I'm going to be busy for like 2 or 3 days straight when the first 2 episodes come out July 11th. So cannot wait. Thank you so much, Anthony, for all of your super chats. Seriously, very generous. And I see we have a super chat from SOC. Thank you so much. You said, what if Sydney's daughter is seeing Roman like Sam was seeing Billy? That would be interesting. I hadn't thought about that. I suppose that is a possibility. But then what if she also sees Jill because she's related to Jill as well? So Roman would technically be her daughter's uncle. And Jill, if Jill is Sydney's cousin, I guess it would also be the daughter's cousin. Her second cousin, is that how it works? Yeah, that's a possibility. Imagine she sees both of them and they're keeping Jill a secret from us. Like, I would hope so. I would hope that they have some surprises left for us because they're revealing a lot of the surprise stuff with Roman, with Stu, with Dewey. There's rumors about Skeet. So if Jill also came back some way, you know, I hope they're keeping it a secret. But yeah, this is an interesting thought that I hadn't even considered. Thank you so much, SOC, for your super chat. Let's see. I realize that I am very behind in the chat, but I apologize. Like, that's just how it goes. We have 53 people here right now. Thank you so much, you guys, for hanging out with me. We're going for like another 40 minutes, so we have plenty of time to hang out. I am going to try my best to get to everyone. But, you know, if you have a question you want to guarantee that I see, you can always send in a super chat, but I shall do my best. Ray says, glad to hear you had a great time with your cousin. Did you party as hard as Robbie Mercer? Absolutely, yes. I was just as lit as Robbie. 3 days in a freaking row. Oh, and I see SOC, you commented earlier. Thank you for joining the stream. Thomas says, don't mess with Ouija boards. Them things are real portals to the spiritual realm. I know. I've heard that. I haven't done one in like over a decade. So imagine how sick the flashbacks are going to be. I am super pumped. Alex says, in Scream 7, I want to see someone wake up in the middle of the night to find Ghostface standing next to their bed. And I can only imagine how much this would scare fans of the franchise. That would be pretty scary. That is something that I want to see in Scream 7, like some genuinely scary moments. Mr. Rick says, I really have a bad feeling 5 and 6 are going to be retconned. I think that's a bad idea. What are your thoughts? I think it's a bad idea as well, and I don't think it's going to happen. Especially because the twins are in the movie. So I think it'll be a continuation. Hey, Brett. Thank you for stopping by the stream. Hey, Paula. I know Stu is returning to attack Sydney's daughter, where he escapes in 7, where it's left in a cliffhanger, and Stu finally cult battle is in 7 or 8, did you mean to say? Yeah, I hope it's a cliffhanger to lead us into 8. Yeah. Scream 2, I feel like would have been the time for Gale to go bad. I mean, possibly Scream 3, but either way, it's way too late. If you want to watch another great Skeet Ulrich movie, you should watch Nobody's Baby. Skeet Ulrich is in it with Gary Oldman. It came out in 2001. I will have to give it a watch. If there was a one-liner that you could choose for Stu Macher in Scream 7, what would it be? Definitely surprise Sydney. We need to hear him say that again. I also want to hear I Always Had a Thing for You, Sid. Do we think it's possible to ever get Danny back without Sam? I still think he might be involved with the cult. I do think it's possible, yes. But is it likely? Probably not. Scream 7 teaser might be out in early fall or late summer. Yeah, so Destin earlier in the chat was saying he thinks it's going to be during I Know What You Did Last Summer. So that would be July 18th, and I could see that happening. So hopefully. I mean, especially if it's just a teaser, like give us a teaser in the beginning of this other sort of nostalgic movie, and then save the first full trailer for like early fall, and then a second trailer hopefully late fall, and then 2 months until the movie comes out. Hey Chris, I have not seen it yet. I am hopefully I'll get a chance to go this weekend. Do I think we'll get another one? Probably. I feel like people enjoyed this new one. Yeah, I feel like we'll get another one. I see SOC is throwing out another super chat. Thank you. You said not to alarm you or anyone, but someone with your profile name and pic said they are hacking everyone's IP. Just reporting it to you. Thank you, SOC. I have not seen that in the chat yet because I'm so far behind in the chat, but this is an issue that I used to have a long time ago on the channel. And I feel like I mentally jinxed it because at the beginning of the stream, I thought to myself, oh, I haven't had that issue in a while. So yeah, it's unfortunate, but I know I have some moderators here right now. So if you guys could please just take care of that for me, I would greatly appreciate it. Let's see if I can even see it in the chat. I'm so far behind. Yeah, I see. Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah, obviously you guys know that's not me in the chat. I have an impersonator for almost a year now. I feel like it's been going on since last summer, and here we are almost in the summer again. So just so you guys know, when it is really me, which first of all, I almost never physically type in the chat. I don't do that. But if I ever do, I believe my name is highlighted yellow. So if it looks like it's me, but it's not highlighted yellow, and if I'm saying crazy things, like that's not me. You guys know that. So I'm just scrolling down and seeing it happen right now. Yeah, so if I have any moderators who are still here right now, please just keep an eye out for that. I appreciate you guys. All right, let me scroll back to where I was. Yeah, Ice Truck Killer, definitely the best for Dexter. Oh, did the third movie go straight to DVD? I'll always know what you did last summer. Oh my god, my laptop is frozen now. Ray says, I still gotta watch House of Wax. What are you waiting for? Oh my god. Not to quote Julie James, but what are you waiting for, huh? So good. Gail does sort of owe Sydney, so maybe a hero sacrifice. Yeah, I definitely can see. I've talked about this in some videos in the past. I can definitely see Gail dying to protect Sydney so that Sydney can keep on living for her family. Because Gail doesn't have a family, she has no one in her life. Not to say that she deserves to die because of that. That's not what I'm saying at all. But she doesn't have anyone in her life, and she knows that Sydney has to live for her family, her daughters, her husband. I can see Gail dying to sacrifice herself for Sydney, and I just think that would be the perfect closure for their relationship and like how they started not really liking each other. Um, I think that would be super emotional. Hey, Philip, did you know that Kevin Williamson wrote the script for the original I Know What You Did Last Summer? I did know this, yes. He really is a horror legend, honestly. And you know what else is getting like a remake or a reboot soon? The Faculty, which he also wrote. So the fact that he dominated like the late 90s, early 2000s, and all those movies are like making comebacks currently, that's insane. J Rod says Halloween and Scream are my favorite slasher franchises. Same. Me too. Barbarian was so good. It was good. Love Justin Long. Derek says, I remember watching the original A Nightmare on Elm Street at the drive-in when I was a kid. Nice. Okay, yeah, we getting back to Jeepers Creepers, we only did a watch along for the first one on the channel. This was back in October. I don't think we ever got around to doing the second one. We did so many watch alongs in October for Spook Fest. Um, we're gonna have to get back into that. Favorite Scream soundtrack definitely has to be the original. Scream 4 does have a good one though. Um, only way Stu would be the opening kill is if him and another cult member faked his death to lure Sydney into their plans. Interesting. I don't know. I feel like that would cause so much confusion right off the bat because at that time, Sydney already thinks he's dead. She thinks he's dead. So like if they fake his death where Sydney finds out that Stu just died, she'll be like, "What? What do you mean? He's been dead this whole time." I don't know. You aren't getting any extra rest tonight. Yeah. I mean, I slept in late today because I was so tired. Um so I figured let me stream later in the evening tonight because I'm going to be up anyway cuz I woke up late. So, um Ooh, Harvey says, I definitely could see Stu being presented as a reformed person, having a family, and being a head of a church parish, which turns out to be the cult of Ghostfaces. That would actually be insane. Imagine. That would be interesting. If you could pick any other characters in the Scream movie besides Billy and Stu, who else do you think could have also been really good killers? I'm assuming you mean just the first movie. Um, I do think Gail would have been a good killer in the first one. I also think Tatum could have made a really good killer. One of those two. What is the most overrated horror film that doesn't live up to the hype? For me, it's The Exorcist. I might have to agree with you. I don't really care for The Exorcist. I had seen it when I was young, but I was so young that I didn't really remember much of it. And then we did a watch party on the channel back in October, and I'm sure some of you here were there for it. I think Ray, you were there. I was like so bored. I don't really care for The Exorcist at all. We have Percy here throwing out a super chat. Thank you, Percy. You said, I like your new look. You look incredibly gorgeous. Thank you so much. Also, Billy Loomis versus Tiffany Valentine. Who wins? Ooh, that is an interesting pair up. Are we talking Tiffany pre-doll or when she is a doll? Um, That's tough. Because I like Tiffany, but I also love Billy. I like both of them. Um, I'm gonna go with Billy. I think Billy would win. Thank you so much for your super chat and for stopping by the stream. I think it's been a little while, right? Were you in one of the previous ones from last week? Either way, good to have you here. Russell says Yellow Jacket season 3 is good so far. I'm happy we're getting a 4th season. Yep, I am. I'm so happy. We're getting a 4th season because we need it. We have a lot of unanswered questions. Matthew says, I've seen a recent interview where Courtney Cox has a similar hairstyle to the one she had in Scream 3. Do you think we'll get a return of Gail's bangs in Scream 7? Maybe. Before filming started, I think we saw her with bangs. And people were talking about it like, oh, return of Gail's bangs. But they did look much better than they looked in Scream 3. Her new ones were a lot more normal looking. So I don't know. Maybe she does have bangs. Percy is throwing out another super chat. Thank you, Percy. You said, what if Sydney was the killer in Scream 1? Thoughts? You know what? So I do think that would have been a crazy twist and kind of original. Like, for it to be who you think is going to be the final girl, but they end up being the killer. That would be crazy, but it's just so hard to imagine because that movie is just so perfect the way it is, and Billy's reveal and Stu's reveal is so good. I can't imagine anyone else being the killer, but it would have been a good twist. So interesting. Thank you, Percy, for both of your super chats. Hey, Nike Mark. Do you think Sam and Tara will ever come back for Scream 8 or no because of everything that happened? I don't know. Honestly, I feel like probably not. I feel like it's possible. You never know. Never say never, but I feel like there's a lot of bad blood. I feel like when pride is involved, like sometimes it's hard to just get over things. I feel like if they do come back, it'll probably be way down the road, like years into the future when they're much older. And it'll be like this nostalgia thing where they come back as these legacy characters and like, you know, enough time has passed where there really isn't any more bad blood. It still feels pretty fresh to me. And the fact that like it still gets talked about a lot, it feels very fresh in my mind. So I don't know if it'll be for Scream 8. Stu should be running his cult on the dark web, probably even the Stab subreddit. That is what I think. I think he's been recruiting people for his cult through the Stab subreddit. Yeah, Mr. Rick, you gotta catch up. You should try. It's a lot of Dexter to watch, but you should try to watch all of it before the new one comes out on July 11th. It's totally possible. I mean, I think there's only 12 episodes per season in the original show. And then New Blood is 10 episodes, Original Sin is 10 episodes. So like it's doable. If you're used to binging shows, like you have plenty of time to catch up before July 11th, which I think you should because it's a lot of fun to watch it as it airs weekly and discuss theories with people. And if you want to be a part of like our weekly recaps here on the channel, it's seriously a lot of fun. So I highly recommend anyone here who has not seen Dexter and is considering watching it. First of all, you won't be disappointed. It's an amazing show, and the new one comes out July 11th. So please catch up before July. Will Meister says Red Right Hand was not in Scream 4. That's what I thought. That sucks. Hey, Jesse. Hey, Slack Wolf. Glad you can make it. No worries that you were late. I do think tomorrow we're gonna do the 17K celebration, which by the way, just thank you again to everyone. If you weren't here earlier in the stream, I already said thank you so much for 17K. What a dream. I appreciate you guys sticking by me through all of this. What if Stu wants to get caught this time around? Who knows? I mean, who knows what goes on in the heads of psychopaths? I mean, Mickey wanted to get caught and go to trial. I did not go on vacation with my cousin. We just went out partying for her birthday, just around the neighborhood, and ran into some people that I haven't seen in many years, so that was fun. And we were out late drinking 3 days in a row. So it was a big birthday. She turned 30, so, and I don't see her that often anymore. So we really did it up. Matthew Lillard is so underrated as an actor. You know, he should be more popular. Like, he should be winning awards. He should be in all of the mainstream movies. I don't know why that happens sometimes, where there's these amazing actors and actresses who give phenomenal performances, like Oscar-worthy performances, and they're just not as big as you would think. Matthew Lillard is one of them. I do think Michael C. Hall is another one. Like, obviously he is very well known as Dexter, but do you know what I mean? Like, he's not in these big blockbuster movies and stuff like that, which I think he should be. Another one that comes to mind is Joseph Morgan, who played Klaus Michelson in The Vampire Diaries. He is truly a phenomenal actor, and he's just not that big. He's not that well known. So crazy. Yes, Ray, I have a little flower ring that spins. It's like a fidget ring. Tiger Lord says, kind of weird to not use the Christmas setting for Scream 7 or 8, with it being Stu's favorite holiday. After your video a while back, it shocked me a bit. Yeah, that's funny, you know? Maybe Scream 8. Like we've been saying, Scream 7 ends on a cliffhanger, Stu getting away with it, leading into Scream 8. You would think that Scream 8 would pick up not too long after the events of 7. So maybe that's where they're headed with it. Maybe Scream 8 will take place during Christmas because it's only like a month after the events of Scream 7. Scream 7 takes place, I believe, late September, early October. So, like, you know, maybe Stu gets away with it, goes into hiding briefly again, or goes to jail. Who knows? And Scream 8 picks up like a couple months after Scream 7, and it'll be Christmas time. I see all you guys talking about my impersonator. When Stu officially dies, how do you think it should play out? I've said before, I think it should be something crazy, like chop his head off or grind him up like Michael Myers, you know? It's got to be something where we're not going to discuss anymore if he's still alive. Like, we are going to see him die, like, for sure, you know? Decapitate him, something like that. Will Gale die? I feel like it could go either way. I really don't know. Have you seen the Beethoven Dogs comedy movies? I used to watch them as a kid. Haven't seen them in a very long time. Kevin Williamson is a legend, yes. You know, not only did he make all these horror masterpieces, like we were saying earlier, but also the fact that I just brought up The Vampire Diaries, which is one of my favorite shows of all time. He is a creator on that as well. It's insane. Mr. Rick says, I would love it if they did a remake or sequel to Disturbing Behavior. That is one of my favorite horror movies of the 90s. I've never seen that one. It has kind of been on my radar lately to watch. Sometimes when I'm scrolling through different apps to find a movie to watch, that comes up. And I always say to myself, like, oh, maybe tonight's the night that I watch it. I've never seen it. That's the one with Katie Holmes, right? I think so. Any love for Texas Chainsaw Massacre? You know, I'm not like obsessed with it. I appreciate it for what it is. I love that it's like he's like this iconic villain. I'm not obsessed with it. I have seen the trailer for Welcome to Derry. It looks good. When does it come out? Fall of this year? Is that right? Derek says October is a great month because my favorite holiday is Halloween. You and me both, Derek. I love Halloween. I think I like it more than Christmas. Like every year I kind of debate with myself like which do I like more, Christmas or Halloween? And I think it's Halloween. It's just so fun. It's so nostalgic. I love Halloween movies. I love Halloween music. It's just so good. I genuinely think about the Halloween season every single day. Like I am just counting down the days for it to be Halloween again. And then when it's over, it's so depressing. It really is. The only thing that saves it is knowing that Christmas is coming up soon, but like truly so depressing when Halloween is over. Harvey says Nightmare on Elm Street is the only film to truly terrify me and made me immune to any other horrors. Hopefully, we get a new one soon since it has been 8 screams since the last one. You know, those movies never scared me as a kid. Um, it was kind of in the same realm as the Halloween franchise for me and the Child's Play franchise. Like, I loved those as a kid. I would watch them and be like a little scared, but nothing crazy. I always bring up the fact that the one movie that effed me up as a kid is The Grudge, the one from the remake from 2004 with Sarah Michelle Gellar. That came out in 2004, and I was 8 years old. Um, I remember renting it from Blockbuster with my sister. She might have had a friend over, and we watched it, and it traumatized me. Like the noise that she makes. Oh man. And I think there's one scene where someone lifts up the bed covers and she like comes up out of there. And the one, isn't she like in, I haven't seen it since 2004 and it's like burned into my brain. Isn't there another scene where she's like up in the attic and Sarah Michelle Gellar goes up there with a lighter? That messed me up. And I think there's one where she's in the doorway and she like creeps backwards as the door shuts. Man, I have it on DVD. It's like right behind me in my DVD collection. Um I have not rewatched it since 2004. 3 months till fall. September starts fall in my book. You know, I start fall the end of August. Even though it doesn't feel like fall in the air, it's still warm out. Um, but that is when pumpkin spice coffee comes back to Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks. So that is the true start of fall for me. We do need another Nightmare on Elm Street. When did that remake come out? Was that 2010? It's been so long. Exorcist Believer was one of the worst movies of 2023. I've never seen it, but I heard it was bad. Personal question, do you like drinking alcohol? I do, unfortunately. We were talking about it earlier in the stream. I drank a lot this past weekend. I do not drink as much as I used to. I used to be a bartender several years ago, and I drank a lot during that time. I'm no longer a bartender, and I don't really go out that often anymore. But yeah, it doesn't taste great, but that's not why I'm drinking it. Oh my goodness. Anthony throwing out another $20 super chat. Anthony, you are killing it this stream. Thank you so much. Seriously. Very, very generous. You said, did you consider rewatching the entire Dexter franchise before Dexter Resurrection's release? This show better go on for another 4 or 5 seasons. I dare that person to hack my IP and come knocking on my door. Yeah, so I did just recently do a rewatch. I started rewatching it in January. Yeah, in anticipation of Resurrection coming out soon. I wanted to be able to just like refresh my memory on everything that happened, knowing that I wanted to make content for it, and just because it had been several years since I rewatched it. I mean, Dexter New Blood finished 3 years ago, and that season I had only seen once, so I really did not remember New Blood at all. When I rewatched it a few months ago, it was like watching it for the first time again because there was so much that I didn't remember. So I did do my recent rewatch, so I'm all set and ready to go for Resurrection. Yeah, so Resurrection is confirmed to be a multiple season show. We don't know how many it's going to be, but they've confirmed they have plans for it to be multiple. So I think we're at least getting 3, at least. I mean, this show is so popular. It might be Showtime's most popular show in history. I feel like I've read articles about that. So yeah, and you know, the fact that like Original Sin, the prequel, we're getting a second season. There's rumors of spin-offs. We're apparently getting a Trinity Killer spin-off. I heard rumors about a possible spin-off with Kristen Ritter's character, who is going to be in Resurrection. I'm definitely going to do a video on that possibly tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. The fact that they are like expanding this universe, and the fact that Michael C. Hall, it was his idea to come back. I think they're gonna go for as long as possible right now, while everyone is like available to do it, you know. I do feel like in general for shows, 5 seasons is the sweet spot. I feel like when you go beyond 5 seasons, that's kind of when the quality starts to diminish. So yeah, I'm hoping for 3 minimum, 5 max. I think that is a good amount. But yeah, I'm ready for Resurrection. I did my rewatch. Thank you so much, Anthony, for all of your super chats. Seriously. I see Johnny, good night if you are still here because you said goodbye 15 minutes ago. But I'm so behind in the chat. Who got it worse, Casey Becker or Tara Carpenter? I mean, gotta go Casey because she died. Tara did get it pretty bad, though. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on the Urban Legends franchise? Absolutely love the first one. One of my favorite, slasher movies from that era, late 90s, just chef's kiss. Perfect time for horror movies. Love the first one. The second one's pretty good too, if I recall correctly. I've seen it a few times. The second one is pretty solid. I think there's a third one. I could be wrong. I don't think I've seen the third one, if it even exists. But I just saw on Twitter like 2 weeks ago that they're rebooting it or remaking it, whatever you want to call it. So that's exciting. Interested to see what they do with that because I do really enjoy the first one. Speaking of remakes and stuff, did you guys know that they're remaking Killer Clowns from Outer Space? I don't think we've talked about that here on the channel yet. And apparently, I feel like I could be imagining this. It feels like a fever dream because I read it on Twitter when I was really sick last month. You guys know I was super sick. I had like a fever. I was napping all day long. And I woke up and checked my phone and saw that they're remaking Killer Clowns. And I feel like Ryan Gosling is attached to the project. Is that right? Did I dream that? I know they're definitely remaking it. So that's pretty wild. Infamous One is throwing out a super chat. Thank you so much. You said I recommend the Dexter books as well, just as fun. So funny you mentioned that. I did read the first two. This was years and years ago when I was in high school. So at this point, this was like 10 years ago that I read the first two. I did not continue with the books because they are very different, I think, from the show. So I guess I wasn't that into them, but I know a lot of people are. I see people on Twitter talk about them. And I don't even have the books anymore. I just recently gave them away. I like donated them to this little library thing in my neighborhood. But yeah, I read the first two. Maybe one day I'll get into it for real. I'm not a huge reader. I'm really not. I used to be back in the day. I used to read a lot. Kind of gave up on reading in general. I just prefer to watch movies or TV shows. I did just recently kind of get back into reading. I started reading the first Harry Potter book a couple months ago, but I gave up halfway through because I switched over to read the brand new Hunger Games book, which I was super into, almost done with it, but I haven't read in a couple weeks because like I got sick. I was just saying I was super sick. I was too tired to read. I've been busy the past couple weeks, so gotta finish that book first before I get into anything else. But thank you so much for your super chat. I have the Knicks game on behind here. It's a pretty close game right now. And they're in the third quarter. Thank you, Ray. Thank you again to everyone for 17K. Yeah, so Yeah, I was just saying, they are doing some kind of remake or something for Urban Legends. I don't know if it'll be a true remake or a reboot where there's like new Urban Legends. I don't know. I also love The Craft. I rewatch The Craft a couple times a year during spooky season. That's like an October movie for me. I have seen Thanksgiving. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the second one. I wonder if Stu's parents covered up his being alive. I think it's possible. You know, I have a ton of theories about this on the channel. Because they had money. They were rich. And, you know, Woodsboro's a small town. They could have had connections, been good friends with Sheriff Burke, and paid the police a ton of money to cover up his involvement. Yeah, I have a bunch of theory videos on the channel. If anyone is new here, I know we have a lot of returning people, but sometimes we get some new people here. If you're new here, first of all, please subscribe to the channel. It definitely helps out the channel. Gotta hit my next milestone of 18K. But if you're new here, if you're a Stu believer, or if you're curious about all of the Stu clues, I have a whole Stu Macher playlist on my channel. I have like 75 Stu Macher videos on the channel. So if you're curious about some of my theories, definitely go check it out. We have Daniel throwing out a super chat. Thank you, Daniel. You said Stu lives. Of course, you know it. And I was wondering, did you end up getting my link for the video about Matthew Lillard's latest comment about a potential twist? I did, Daniel. Thank you so much for pointing that out to me. And thank you for reminding me about it, because I forgot. So I just this past week or so since you sent me the link, things have just been crazy busy. So I didn't get a chance to make a video about it, but I might do that tomorrow. So thank you again for bringing this to my attention. Let me just make a note of this. Yes, I did see your comment, so thank you so much. And thank you for your super chat. Thank you for supporting the channel. First thing I heard from you is cut his head off. It's funny. It's like when you walk by people on the street and you just hear like an awkward part of their conversation. You have no idea what they were talking about. Stu kills Sydney, maybe. I don't know. Probably not. I feel like Sydney's never gonna die. If anyone was to kill her, I think it should be him. However, I think she's gonna kill him. I think if anyone's gonna finally kill Stu for good, it should be Sydney. So maybe they both kill each other in the process. Maybe maybe she stabs him, and as he's fallen to the ground, he stabs her, and they both just bleed out and die. Let's see here. Thank you, Slack Wolf. I appreciate you. I do think that Matthew Lillard is a great actor, but it's difficult to cast him in certain roles after the Scooby-Doo films, unfortunately. Yeah, I do think that's a common thing with a lot of actors. And like the other actors that I mentioned earlier, like Michael C. Hall, he just embodied Dexter that I feel like he probably doesn't get other roles because he just is Dexter, and he will always be Dexter. Like, same with Joseph Morgan. He's always going to be Klaus Michelson from Vampire Diaries. So yeah, I do think that's a common thing where once certain actors have a role that is just so well known and popular, like, people are always going to see them as that. I guess another example would be Daniel Radcliffe, who plays Harry Potter. Like, he has been in a lot of things, but none of them have the impact of his role as Harry Potter. Have you tried setting the chat to 3 days subscribers? No, I always do 2 days. The thing is, I was saying earlier, my impersonator issue in the chat hasn't been an issue for a long time. I've been lucky where they haven't shown up in a long time. And literally, as I was setting up the stream today, I said to myself, do I really still need to do the 2-day subscribers only mode? Like, maybe I should just have no subscriber mode, like normal mode. But good thing I did, because they did show up, but clearly it didn't prevent them. But the reason I do it is because they keep making new accounts, but eventually they'll get tired of it because they have to be subscribed for 2 days. For all I know, they showed up again in the chat, and I just haven't seen it yet because I am so behind in the chat. I'm like 20 minutes behind in the chat, so. And Justin has sent in a super chat. Thanks, Justin. You said, how do you think they'll connect Scream 7 and 8? Do you like the idea of a cliffhanger? Yes, I do love the idea of a cliffhanger. We were kind of talking about it earlier in the stream, and I think I have a couple of videos on the channel about this. Yeah, I feel like a cliffhanger has definitely never been done in the franchise before. It's something that Kevin Williamson always had this vision of doing a cliffhanger, So the fact that Kevin Williamson is back as director, and I'm sure he has a little bit of a say in the script, even though he's not credited as a writer, I'm sure he has some input. So I think he should be able to finally carry out his vision. And I always say, like, 7 movies in, we gotta do something different. We've never had a cliffhanger before. Let's do it for 7. The way I think they'll connect it, 7 and 8, is with Stu. I hope Stu gets revealed at the end of 7, gets away with things, whether it's like he gets away and goes into hiding again, or he gets arrested. Either way, he survives another movie and leads us into Scream 8. And that way we can get Matthew Lillard in a full movie, because I want all the time with him, as much time as we can get. And I always say, like, let's use him while we got him, because once they eventually kill him, that's it. He's never going to be in another Scream movie again. So let's use him. But then I also wonder, like, how many other survivors we're going to get in 7, and if they'll carry over into Scream 8, or if Scream 8 will be like a whole brand new set of characters. I don't know. But if Stu, survives 7, goes into 8, I do think whatever other survivors we get in 7 should also go into Scream 8 to connect both of these movies. Thank you, Justin, for your super chat and for supporting the channel. Ray says Halloween over Christmas. I think I agree. Welcome to Derry doesn't come out until late 2025. You know what, though? That's right around the corner. Like, it comes out in fall, and that's gonna be here soon. Like we're about to be halfway through the year, which is insane. Um, I feel like it was just New Year's Eve. Like, what is this year? This is the fastest year ever. And welcome to Derry. For some reason, I thought it got pushed back to 2026. Clearly, that's not the case. So that'll be exciting around Halloween time. Yeah, something about horror movies during Halloween time, they're just even better. Like, you know, obviously, um, love them all year, but J Rod says, I love TVD. I love going to the town it was filmed in. It's pretty amazing. It's been my favorite town to visit. Been there 3 times already. Mystic Grill has pretty amazing food. Yeah, I've been there once. I went to Covington, Georgia to do a tour of all of the filming locations. Maybe I'll make a video about that because I have gotten some requests for Vampire Diaries content on the channel. And I have so many images from when I visited, and it was so much fun. I ate at the Mystic Grill as well. So yeah, maybe I'll just throw a bunch of those images together to do a quick little video. Percy throwing out another super chat, and you said, "What's the meanest comment you've ever seen?" Like to me specifically, or to other people? Um, I don't know. I do get some pretty mean people, but it's never super mean where it actually hurts my feelings. It's not really anyone like saying like, "Oh, you're ugly," or "You're a loser." It's not like that. It's more just like talking about the movies that I make content about. Sometimes they're just like, "Oh, you have a stupid theory," or "Oh, you're stupid." Like it's stuff that doesn't even it really doesn't get to me. So, I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. Um, but thank you for your super chat, Percy. Do you think Harrison will be Dexter's downfall or savior? That is an interesting question. Um, he was already kind of his downfall in Dexter New Blood, but I think they're going to go a different route this time. I think maybe he'll be more of a savior this time because the fact that they are planning to do multiple seasons, like they can't have Harrison be his downfall again, at least not yet. Um, if anything, I think Dexter will be Harrison's downfall. I could see Harrison dying eventually and it being Dexter's fault. In fact, I think that's actually I never thought about that before, but now that I say that out loud, I think that's pretty likely. Um, yeah, especially because like fans don't love Harrison. I don't mind him. I don't really have an issue with Harrison. Um, but a lot of fans don't like him, so I can see them actually like killing him off. My sister used to make the Grudge noise to scare the crap out of me. Yeah, the Grudge Russell was super creepy. Let's see here. Yeah, I loved the 13th Ghost with Matthew Lillard. I remember watching it as a kid, and then I didn't rewatch it until pretty recently, like last year. Okay, the Nightmare remake was 2010. It's been a while, man. I thought you were 20. No, I will be 29 next month. That's insane. I still feel 20. Hey Alex, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I think we're gonna go just a little bit longer. This is an extra long stream. We were originally only gonna do an extra 30 minutes, but we got a lot of people here hanging out. I'm trying to get to everyone in the chat. I probably won't be able to do that by the time we finish. I wish I could. If you have a comment or a question you want to guarantee that I see, you could send in a super chat. That makes sure that I see it, jumps to the front of the line. But I shall try my best. Do you like Insidious? So, not really. I remember, I think I saw the first one in theaters, but after that, I just kind of never really kept up with the franchise. So yeah, I wouldn't say that I really like it, but I do want to watch it eventually. Would you one day do a 2 to 3 hour stream or an all day stream? Well, we're about to go on 2 hours right now, so I've definitely done 2 hour ones before. I think my longest one has been like 2.5. So maybe a 3 hour one day. All day though it's tough. It's tough. Maybe one day. Maybe when I hit 20K, we'll do like a 12-hour stream or something. I don't know. Don't hold me to it though. I would obviously have to like take breaks. I would have to like pause it to like go eat food and like use the bathroom. So we'll see. Brian Moser spinoff is a must. You know, when news broke about a possible Trinity Killer spinoff, which has been completely written, they wrote the script for it. It just hasn't been officially greenlit, I don't think. All the fans, myself included, we were like, do we really need a Trinity spinoff? Like, what could this really do for us? And fans were like, we need a Brian Moser spinoff, which I do think would be cool to see. But if you think about it, Dexter Original Sin kind of already served that purpose. So I don't know if they would do it. Either that's all we're going to get for Brian Moser, the season 1 of Dexter Original Sin, or it was them kind of testing the waters to see how fans received it, and maybe they will do it one day. You also said Michael C. Hall was born to play Dexter. 100%. Absolutely. You know, when they first announced the prequel and that Patrick Gibson was playing Dexter, I was like, no, what are we doing here? This is probably going to be terrible. No one else but Michael C. Hall can play Dexter, but you know what? I take it back. Patrick Gibson was a great Dexter. He was good. I feel like he really, truly studied Michael C. Hall's mannerisms, and it was good. Bye, Matthew, if you're still here. You said goodnight like 20 minutes ago. Oh, Urban Legends Bloody Mary. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one. Is it good? Has anyone here seen it? Yeah, they are doing Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Yeah, I don't know how many of you guys here have Twitter, but if you do, go follow me on Twitter, because sometimes I will tweet about that stuff and I don't always make a video about it on the channel. So if you have Twitter, my Twitter account is linked below in the description if you want to click on the link. But it's also, I'll tell you, it's Sistapam96 is my Twitter handle. So go follow me for some horror movie updates that I don't always cover here on the channel. I see Sin updating us on the Knicks game. We are now 94-91 in the fourth quarter. Hey, Atrol. So I was saying earlier, I enjoy watching sports, but I'm not really actually into sports. I don't know what the hell's going on. Like, I'll be honest, I don't follow along. I don't know much about sports, but I used to work in a sports bar, and it was always so much fun watching the games and just the environment, like the community of people, having fun with their friends, taking shots. So I miss being in that environment of like watching sports out at a bar. And I was saying earlier the fact that like the Knicks are dominating right now. I live in New York City. The city's going crazy. And I just love it. I like being a part of it even if I don't really know what the hell is going on. Yeah, I'm excited for Thanksgiving too. I have not seen Wolf Creek. Let's see here. I'm gonna get to just a couple more before we wrap things up. If Sydney dies, I will sit in that theater way past the credits, shocked. I will be shocked too. Russell says, I don't think Sydney will die in Scream 7. Probably Scream 8. Could be. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be 7 either. Let's see here. Yeah, Georgia's nice. I like Georgia. Hey, Toby. I edit all of my videos on CapCut. I think CapCut is a great app. There is a free version of it, which I think is great. Like, you do not even need to pay for the pro features. You can get a lot done with the free version. In fact, I had been using the free version for the past 2 years up until very recently. I decided to pay for the for the pro features, but you really don't need it. I think CapCut is super user friendly. It's very simple. They simplify everything, but you can do some pretty crazy things with it. Hey, Keon. Yeah, super close to I Know You Did Last Summer. July 18th, I think. Yeah, 2 hours deep into the stream. We're gonna wrap up shortly, though. 72-hour stream, no bathroom breaks. No way. Nice, Keon. Is this your first time watching Dexter? If it is, you're in for a treat. Percy is sending in another super chat. You said Stu Macher with a gun or a knife versus 2003 Leatherface. Ooh, I gotta go with my boy Stu. Like, I'm sorry. I gotta go, Stu. Thank you, Percy, for all of your super chats. You've been very generous during the stream. Derek says Urban Legends 3 is pretty good. Bye, Mr. Rick. Thanks for stopping by. Harvey says Leatherface would win. And Wicked Milk says Stu wins 100%. Slack Wolf, I have tried my absolute best to get to everyone. I think I did an okay job this stream. It's tough though. We have 47 people here right now, and there's so many comments in the chat. It's truly so impossible to keep up with them all. But I seriously appreciate all of you hanging out, sending in comments and questions. We just hung out for the past 2 hours, which is insane. Always a blast. I do think we're gonna call it a night, though. Thanks, Ray. I have not seen Sinners. No, I heard it's really good. I'm not really into Marvel movies. I tried to get into them. I wanted to. Not a big superhero person. My favorite superhero movies are the original Spider-Man with Tobey Maguire. He will always be my favorite Spider-Man. And the Dark Knight trilogy, I do like. Thanks, Antonio. All right. Thank you guys so much, seriously, for hanging out with me for the past 2 hours. All of your comments and questions. Thank you so much for all of the super chats that people sent in. So Percy, Justin, Daniel, Infamous One, Anthony, who else? SOC, Willmeister, Ghostface Sith, Johnny, Zork. Thank you guys so much for all of the super chats. I do think tomorrow we're going to do the 17K celebration. So stay tuned for that. I'm not sure what time. Tomorrow might be an earlier one. I might try to do like 3 p.m. Eastern time, but I'm not sure. So make sure all your notifications are turned on so that you don't miss out. So you get notified when we do go live to celebrate 17K. But thank you guys again for hanging out. I am going to catch the end of this Knicks game. They are winning right now. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. And I shall talk to you guys tomorrow.